What is going on, YouTubers? All right, so we have the Nazgul all set up. It's kind of a pain in the butt to set up, if I'm brutally honest. So you got the base, which has all these little pieces from this particular scene. Those weren't too bad. The arms was the hardest part. It tells you to like put the upper body and then the arms, and I couldn't get the little pins in. So I actually just took the body part off, laid it on the ground, and that's how I was able to get it in. Because otherwise, I was not able to get it in.
Motion detected at the front door.
Alexa, shut up. Anyways, so, yeah, the arms were the hard part. And then you have, of course, the fabric part. So there's 3 layers to the fabric. There's the initial fabric, which you have to insert the arms through, as well as like another layer, like this one. And that one they actually wanted you to put through the arms as well, but I totally forgot. So I just threw it on top, whatever. But normally this would go through the arms. And then the hood. So the hood lays down like this. It's very weathered and dirty. You can see there's like dirt effect all throughout it. And then they have you tuck it down. Now if you tuck it down completely, it completely covers the base. So I actually just tucked it to the back, which allows you to completely see the base, which is obviously a much better method. And then the hood, you kind of just want to like shape it like that to give that dark look. You still can see the like neck armor right there, but the face is, really just black. That's how the Nazgul are. And then I did make so you can at least see some of the armor. Some people put the cloak all the way to like right there. I don't like that. I put it to just right the first buckle. That way you can see, his arms are up. So I feel like his long sleeve shirt would fold back a little bit in this scenario. And then definitely don't want the cloth on the base. It's a shame to be covering that. So I tucked it right here and then utilize this to like kind of hold it back here. Now, of course, this is the back part, so something you're not going to see. So this is on a 12-inch shelf. And as you can see, it's already getting pretty close to the ceiling. So let's go ahead and show you some measurements. Alrighty, so the base is actually quite massive, folks. It fills this entire shelf right here, and this is 22 inches. So it's a 22-inch by about 22. So it's really a 22-inch diameter. The base is already attached to the logo, so, that always worries me when they do that. Logo's already permanently attached because then it's more risk of getting damaged. But in terms of height, so to the top of his head, you're talking roughly almost 40 inches. So just the head is extremely tall. Now this sword, just the sword alone, is 54 inches, which is, I believe, very accurate. I know the swords sold by United Cutlery are about that size. So then if you go from the bottom of the base to the top of the sword, we're talking 61.5 inches tall. So that is over 5 feet. If I go to one of my garage shelves, yeah, I got 55 inches. So this doesn't fit a top garage shelf in an 8-foot ceiling. But you can just see, how incredibly massive this is. Like, Jupiter. This thing is huge. Like, me sitting down, it's as tall as my head. Like, wowzers. This is huge, folks. We really got to, step back. And let me just, sit down on the couch. It did include some instructions on how to set it up and everything. So get a good look-see here. So this is actually priced pretty decently. It's like $1,800-ish dollars. So it's not a bad price, and it's a huge bust. I've seen photos. It's technically 40 inches. Like, that is huge. It's taller than technically Aquaman in terms of the head size. But then the sword makes it taller than almost anything because it's over 5 feet. So the sword is extremely big, like way bigger than my Alita sword. So very big sword. definitely a huge presence. Huge presence. Alrighty, so I did some measurements, and this shelf is actually 17 inches tall, and I measured from there to there, and I got about safely 12 inches to add, like if I wanted to raise this. So I could have this on a 28-inch tall garage shelf. My current garage shelves are 36 inches tall, so I could do this on a 26-inch, which you lose about 2 inches from that. So realistically, you could put, you know, a 24-inch tall or really like 20-inch tall statues underneath. So I could be putting technically Frodo. You could do weapons, orcs, Lurtz. No, he's slightly, I mean, he's 24. But, you know, definitely like the orcs, for example, could go underneath on a garage shelf. So, yeah, it's definitely very big, extremely cool. I like this a lot. Let's go ahead and just analyze the base. So, you know, you got this just gray rock effect, and it does have like some orangish look to it. And then the green like plants, and overall looks pretty good. You know, if you remember the hobbits, they were like having a little campfire right here, and then they went up into there when they heard the Nazgul screech. So, you know, that was really cool. And then, of course, this is the under part of the base. This is really going to be your best angle, you know, to view that. You know, if we lift this up a little bit so we can get a better angle, really. So I tried tucking this in so you can really see the inside of that. I think that just looks much better when you can actually view it, you know, because if you can't view it, what's the point? And they do give you the option to where you could technically display the Nazgul separate and have this as just a display piece, which I guess is cool. It is a really big base, folks. Like, it will fit a 24-inch garage shelf because it's only 22 inches deep. You know, the armor is exceptionally impressive. It has a very good weathering effect. The buckles, it's all sculpted. There's, you know, like no mixed media on the armor itself. But really intricate armor, you know, like it looks just like real, like weathered armor. The sword is resin, so it's not metal, which is, you know, a disappointment, but I'm sure there's good reasons. But as far as I'm aware and heard, you know, like a real metal sword would not allow this level of detail where it has like the intricacies of this sword, you know, so, you know, it is painted good. It's not like chromed or anything, but it does look good. And I don't think it's, let me see, is this sharp at all? Not really. Not really sharp. The fabrics do have a different color, like all three of them, honestly. You know, the main one is quite thick, and it's very, like, as you can see, like weathered and torn. And then the middle one's pretty thin. It's a little bit, you know, different color of black. And this one's also multi-layered as well. So just like multiple layers of cloth. And then the top one is a little bit more reminiscent of the bottom part of this, where it's very just like weathered, like looks like it's cut up and was dragged through the mud. You know, like look at all that, just like it literally looks like someone just threw this in the mud, you know, and this is just dragged through, which makes sense because, you know, that's what these creatures are. You know, especially they were running through the rain and, you know, looking for Frodo. So very authentic looking. I will say it feels very authentic to the movie. So I think overall it's a fantastic bust. Great price. Looks really good. You know, I mean, obviously this doesn't have like a portrait to look at. You know, like when you look at a bust, you know, like this, you see all this crazy cool detail of a lichen or, you know, any of the other busts I have. This doesn't have a crazy detailed face. There literally is nothing to look at in the face. I mean, you can see some armor inside and then just black cloth. So, you know, that is what this lacks. But the thing is, these characters don't have a face, so there is nothing to look at. But realistically, this is a bust. You just look at the whole thing. You look at the armor detail, the cool looking sword. And they did do a good job in terms of like not having a gap between the two arms. You know, it looks like, you know, they're really holding a sword together. There's no like seam lines or anything like that. Fit very snug. So yeah, this is just a piece you just gotta look at the whole thing. You're not looking at a super detailed face. You know, you're looking at the whole thing. When you look at the whole thing as a whole piece, it looks awesome. It looks really cool. You know, and you know, I'm still trying to, you know, like figure out space. I wanted to go back to my other Nazgul by Prime 1, which is a fully sculpted statue, but Alexa, turn on Transformers Room. I just wanted to show you guys real quickly. Alexa, goodness, look how long she takes. Yeah, so like, look at this one. You know, this one definitely has that like weathered look as well.
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Look at Alexa. You know, look at the armor. Like here, you know, his armor is really just the hand portion. And then as you see, it is multi-tiered as well, like just the hood, just that. And then this dangles down. And that one does also dangle down. I just kind of tucked it in so you can see everything. And then check out that sword. See, like this sword, it is metal and it's not chromed either. That sword is actually different. The Nazgul we have is more reminiscent of this type of sword. You know, like that is the sword the Nazgul is holding. No, that one is, I believe, technically the Witch King before he became the Witch King. You know, but yeah, like these Nazguls look great, of course, and they have like the really good texture and, you know, but their armor you can only see so much. Obviously, Infinity is better armor. You know, it's much bigger. The sword, I need to look at the sword handle. Alexa, turn off Transformers Room. Alexa, turn off Transformers Room. Goodness, Alexa, how dare you. Now let's look at the sword hilt. Okay, yeah, I mean, that looks legit. Feels resin. You know, this is very solid, like, but that armor looks incredible. Definitely better than Prime 1 for sure. Like, that looks really good. And of course, this is more authentic because this is how they are in the movie. You know, like, I don't think you're going to get a more authentic Nazgul bust out there. Now this is limited to $7.98, I believe. But yeah, overall it's a really cool bust. I like this, you know, especially for the price. I mean, it's like $1,800. A silicone bust of similar manner is $4,000, so it's half the cost. Definitely has the presence, has a great base, great armor detail, awesome sword, just really cool looking overall piece. So definitely a big fan of this. Extremely cool. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Huge shout out to Secret Compass for this great piece. You know, I'm still trying to, you know, figure out where and whatnot of, you know, keeping this or in Sauron bust and whatnot. You know, I'm going to be opening up Sauron bust right after this. But really cool piece for sure. I think Infinity did a great job overall. I mean, for what the character is, they just did a stellar job. Now, I wish they did give you some sort of like... In the initial pre-order, they stated they'd give you the ability to display this like sword separate or something. Just because like this is really tall. You know, and so it's like... I have 8-foot tall ceilings, unfortunately, in my basement. Upstairs, I got vaulted ceilings, but I can't put statues up there. I'm limited to here. You know, so it's like, I really wish I could put this top garage shelf, but it's just obviously way too tall. And, you know, so you're kind of like, you have to lower the shelf or not display the sword. To not display the sword is, you know, just, it's criminal. You can't do that. The sword is extremely cool and really, you know, makes this be such an iconic look. You know, the Nazgul holding the sword forward and marching towards Frodo in this particular scene. And then Aragorn comes out of nowhere and attacks them all with the, you know, torch and his sword. So just super iconic. Very cool. Let me know what you guys think. Sauron's next. But overall, I love this piece. Very cool. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.